This year marks 10 years of the Apple Watch. Since 2014, we've gradually seen the Apple Watch overtake the rest of the public, and just a few years ago, we saw the Apple Watch become the best-selling watch, period, digital or analog. Now, I've been able to spend a few days with the Apple Watch Series 10 and the refreshed Ultra 2. Here are my main takeaways from my time with Apple's latest releases. Series 10 is the thinnest Apple Watch we've seen to date at 9.7 millimeters in thickness. It's also the biggest display we've ever seen on an Apple Watch, bigger than even the one on the Ultra. This generation uses a brand new wide-angle OLED technology for the display. At an angle, the display is actually 40% brighter than it would be in previous generations. Now, that sounds pretty fancy on paper, but in real life, I found it to be actually really useful. Apple has also introduced a brand new face called Reflections. It's actually modeled off of the watchmaking craft that is guilloche. When you move your wrist around, the dial glimmers and shines, just like if you saw it on a Voutilanen. I think that this effect works best because it's using this brand new wide-angle technology. A lot of this year's update has to do with materials and finishes. One of the coolest introductions is actually in the entry-level assortment, which is a jet black aluminum finish. It's the first time we've seen a fully polished aluminum Apple Watch, and in person, the effect is really cool. This watch is really glossy black. I think it's great to see a new finish that isn't at the top of the price range in Apple's lineup. Speaking of that, Apple has also completely changed over the premium lineup, which used to be in stainless steel. They've gone with fully polished grade 5 titanium. That's a pretty big deal coming from the perspective of being in the watch industry. We all know that a lot of manufacturers say that titanium is way harder to machine and way harder to finish than stainless steel. So for Apple to choose this material means that they're really standing behind it. With the 3 colors now in the titanium lineup, Apple has also updated their stainless steel Milanese loop and their Link bracelet. Apple keeps the bracelets in stainless steel, presumably to keep down the price, but coats all 3 with a PVD finish to match the 3 finishes on the titanium watches itself. I actually think that the Apple Watch's Milanese loop is one of the best bracelets in the game. It's so soft, it's really thin profile, and the infinite magnetic attachment is kind of perfect. It's everything you want in a bracelet and nothing more. Speaking of titanium, we didn't see Apple update the Ultra 2 this year, but we saw a new refresh, a brand new black DLC treatment. It's basically now a second colorway. On the surface, it's actually really cool. It's a very matte, satin, graphite, if you will. It's not so much black like the gloss black on the Apple Watch aluminum, but DLC is really durable. If you're curious about what DLC actually means, be sure to read my article, which was an in-depth about black watch cases. This year, Apple introduces a brand new Milanese bracelet for the Ultra 2 in both the new DLC black and the natural titanium finish. This bracelet was meant for the Ultra to go diving with. It's infinitely adjustable, which means that you can actually slip it over a wetsuit, and has the additional durability of having a twin-trigger parachute-style buckle. Finally, Apple collaborates with Hermes for a new collection of bands, and for the first time on an Ultra series with the Ultra 2. The watches have exclusive dials, an Hermes engraving on the caseback, and first ever metal band. And of course, an Hermes strap, this time on the Ultra 2 made of water-resistant textured knit that echoes the pattern of ocean waves and features a subtle Hermes motif throughout. It's a really interesting collaboration given the ultra ruggedness of the Ultra 2 and the ultra luxury image of Hermes. With the Series 10, a few additional hardware and software improvements go a long way. Things like improved fast charging, depth and temperature sensing in the water, and the ability to play audio directly from the speakers on your watch.
Welcome back to Hodinkee Radio. I'm editor Tony Trina. Today's episode is coming at you.
And of course, what got the biggest audience reaction at the keynote is sleep apnea detection. Now, I wasn't able to test it for this video, but this is a huge feature. All in all, after 10 whole years of Apple Watch, Apple has proven that the Apple Watch is here to stay, becoming an indispensable part of your everyday life. With the refined changes that we see in this generation, especially on the Apple Watch Series 10, I'm sure that more and more people are going to be adding one to their collection. Even the most die-hard watch collectors out there, including me.